let's try that again. I've changed the keybind. I forgot about it. So, welcome back. It is Tuesday night. We're here for another Football Manager stream, and we are starting. Well, we're finishing our first season with Hertha Berlin. We are 6 league matches away from the end of the season. We are still in the Conference League. We are still in the German Cup, and we are either in for a great night or a terrible one. Welcome, Chiefs. Here nice and early tonight. I hope you're doing all right, mate. I think I missed you at the end of last stream because started talking about potential for my summer save. The idea being that we're going to create a club. And I've already decided, obviously, what the club badge is. It's going to be our croc in specs. Might put a little ring around it with club name, which still TBD. So feel free to come up with ideas. But looking forward to what that might be. We're going to continue this one either until we get sacked or we win the Champions League. Whether that's with Hertha or another club, we are going to continue until one of those two things happen. And then I think we're going to try to crack on with a creator club save. What I'm going to look at doing potentially is actually editing the database. So I have downloaded a database that takes us down to level 13 in England. So we will be able to start with a club right at the very, very low levels. Pretty much Sunday league stuff, I think. We need to name the club. That's something that we'll see if we can do over the next few streams, is name our club. So let's get on with the save. Let's get on with Hertha. We'll talk later about what the next save will be, but let's get on with Hertha and see. Let's see if we can actually rescue what was a horrible start to the season and turn this into a decent finish for us. So as you can see, we are in 5th place. So we're only 3 points off of the Champions League places, and we have a game in hand on Mainz. So if we win that game in hand, we will at least draw level with them on goal difference. But if we're fortunate enough, we'll get ahead of them, and that could be our foot in the door. Either that, or Wolfsburg, Gladbach, or Mainz dropping points over the next 6 games will do us a great service. We are still in the quarter-final of the Europa Conference League, where we face AZ Alkmaar, and we're still in the German Cup, where we face Stuttgart and a potential final against Bayern Munich. So lots to play for tonight. Let's see how we get on. We may not finish the season tonight, but we will certainly give it a try. We were in town on Monday, had to walk through enemy trenches. Oh, I bet that was a rough time. How did you get on? Were you sort of stepping over hungover bodies, or did you manage to make it through fairly unscathed? Do you want me to make a badge for the club? Well, I think we're using our croc-in sunglasses. I think that is the badge. We're just going to need to put our club name around it once we've got it. But if you want to take on that task again, I will not stop you because, well, you've done a great job with the emotes so far. I will happily take your work again. Had to walk through a crowd of City fans. Oh, that must have hurt. Well, I feel for you. This is a chance, however, to get away from that. We're gonna turn on the style in Germany, and hopefully we can make one of these 3 clubs very, very sad. That's the aim. Wolfsburg, Mainz, and Gladbach. They are in our sights. We've got a bit of distance actually between us and Leipzig in 6th. So I'm not really looking down. I'm just looking up. I'm just walking around miserable. Yeah, no, I understand that. At some point on Saturday night stream, we had an AC Milan fan who was happy that Inter lost. And I think they were celebrating that as their own. So, yeah, flip side for, yeah, you miserable as because Man City won, and this guy very happy because Inter lost. Okay, so Diamandi's injured. That's not good. We've really just started to find real form with him. He start putting the ball in the back of the net a bit. That's a shame. There's a camera kind of might be on it, just looking depressed. I mean, if you can find footage of that, I'll play it on stream. I mean, not that I want to compound your misery or anything, but it's all content, isn't it? At least they didn't try to interview you or anything. Was it a news crew or yeah, Sky Sports News, something like that? And look at that. With 5 matches left, they've already booked their place in the Champions League. That's how far ahead of the rest of us they are. Oh God, I can only imagine. I'll assume you weren't out in your United shirt on yesterday. I'd probably try and keep that hidden away for a few days. Not because you're ashamed of it, but just trying to keep it out of public view, just to keep them off you. Oh, Vega now knows German. Excellent. Yeah, I wouldn't have blamed you, Chief. I probably would have told them where to go. What I found funny, so I saw on Twitter a lot of Man United fans saying, we did it first, understandably, and we did it without breaking rules, 115 charges, etc. But I found it particularly amusing seeing Arsenal fans piping up with, "Oh yeah, you might have won the treble." I actually saw a tweet that said any team can win the treble, but only one can go a season unbeaten. And I thought, my God, I can't believe Arsenal fans are trying to get in on this at the moment. That, I mean, it made me chuckle. This is a team without European glory in what 50 years, and they're trying to get in on this. I'd have just left it if I was them. Yeah, it just wouldn't have been worth it. See, next season when you win the league, then you can do it. Then you can go in with your shirt. Yeah, exactly. They're the second team to do it. I tell that's another football manager save. I keep tempting. I keep getting tempted to do is a Preston, take Preston back to the very top, roll back the clock by 120 years, 130 years, and get them back up where they used to be. But that's just not what I've done. I've always found something else I wanted to do instead. I say that to Arsenal fans, and they usually shut up. Yeah, and of course it was Man United, wasn't it, that stopped them getting to 50 games unbeaten. They still broke Forest's record, didn't they, by one game? I think it was. But I'm sure I remember seeing that in the pub. Oh, this is in an Irish pub, not far from where I used to live, and there was. I was with my friend who's a Man United fan, and there was always the same guy in the pub, this Arsenal fan. He was only ever an Arsenal fan when they were winning. The rest of the time, you didn't hear a word about football from him. And he was jumping up and cheering. I think he genuinely just expected a walkover, and he went very quiet by the end of it. Ashwin, how you doing, mate? Are you still streaming your League of Legends? Had to jump off and spend a bit of time with the family and whatnot. Let's go and have a look at you still on. I'm good. I'm good. I'm enjoying the weather at the moment. Yesterday was a bit weird. I don't know about you, Chief. Up north, but we had lovely sunshine. It was hot, 30 degrees for most of the day, and then over the course of an hour or so, we had about I think it was about 30 minutes in total of rain over an hour, and it just tipped down to the point where we had there was like flooding and all sorts. It was insane. And worst of all, I don't think it made it any hotter. It just made it any cooler. It just made it more humid. And there was me dressed up in my suit, and I was melting. Honestly, I thought I was going to drown in my own suit. They took a break. Don't. Ashwin, you stream more than anyone else I think I've ever seen, so I'm not surprised. Okay, what game are we even playing here? So it's AZ. It's AZ. It's an away game. One, I think, game we should win, but this is the problem we've got. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the squad for this one, put a few second stringers in, save them for Wolfsburg, and then go at the home game. So if we give up a one goal lead to AZ Alkmaar from this one, it probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So let's do a bit of rotating. Exact same Manchester. We've got a bit of lightning too. Yeah. I didn't see any lightning, but I wasn't looking for it, to be honest with you. But I heard the thunder. It was one of those where I heard the thunder, and it took an absolute age for any rain to fall. And when it did, my God, didn't it fall? And if it wasn't rain, it was tears because they fucked top 4 up. It's almost like you've got something against Liverpool, Chief, and I can't quite put my finger on it. Okay, yeah, we're going to go. Healy's, I've had to take him off quite a bit, so we are. We are going to go full rotation. Chris Osterman, I know I normally play at centre back, but I can always bring in Van den Ham if I need to. Hildebrand, Vega as the attacking playmaker because we've got our defensive midfielder position role there. And we'll go Dor and Adiemi. So it's full second string. We really are putting everything on Wolfsburg. It's going to stump me, that, Chief. I'm going to be thinking about that in bed tonight. Why would a Man United fan have something against Liverpool? It's just, yeah, it escapes me. 3 more spaces. Look at that. Oh, I was not meant to put Slanky or Schaefer in there. Alright, let's get into our first game of the night. Let's hope we can start with a win, but I'm happy to give up a one goal loss on this one, just because I think Wolfsburg is the one I'm really after. I want to beat Wolfsburg, because we beat Wolfsburg, we're in the top 4. I think actually there might be 4 points ahead, but we're with a much better chance. We just drag one more team into the battle for Champions League places, and it only works in our favour. Marechal just doing what a good goalkeeper does there. In time there's a chance to laugh at Liverpool. I'll take it, even if City just won the treble. I can still laugh at the Scousers. Yeah, this is the good thing about having so many rivals. You can just pick on any of them. If one of them's being successful, you can guarantee the other one's not. So you get to enjoy the suffering of someone else. Obviously, it's much nicer when your own club's doing well, but yeah, plenty of rivals there to keep you satisfied all season long. As Gillingham, we don't have any real rivals. I mean, Maidstone, sort of, but I mean, when was the last time we played in the same league? So yeah, not really rivals. And then next nearest thing we've got sort of Charlton, Millwall, but not really. Swindon, yeah, we think of them as big rivals. They couldn't care less about us, from what I understand. So yeah, I just pick on any big team that's not doing well. That's it for me. Gonna watch you for a bit and while I eat my tuna. What have you got tonight? Tuna what? It's not just a bowl of tuna, is it? That would be That'd be incredibly bland. Of course, Leeds are relegated, so I can laugh at the scum. Well, yeah, that was something else, Leeds. I think they made a big mistake in letting go of Bielsa. I'm really not sure what they were expecting Leeds to turn into, but yes, he was just a little bit eccentric, but he did the job. Oh, tuna, tomato sauce, peas, corn, and onion. That sounds pretty good to me. I'd probably look to add a little bit of lettuce and maybe some balsamic vinegar with it, but it all sounds good to me. And that's a good save from Marichal. I've sat here and said I'd be happy giving up one goal in this, but as soon as I saw them through, I regretted saying that because I wouldn't be happy with it at all. But we clear the corner. No one's closing him down, and well, last minute we put a block in there, but you can't let a man run into the box unopposed like that. That's shocking defending. Oh, the Mighty Jills released their away kit today. Revealed their away kit today. They didn't release it yet, and it's a thing of beauty. It is. I think it's probably just more because of the positive buzz around the whole club at the moment. But everything they come out with seems to be absolute gold at the moment. The home kit is a sort of more traditional kit with yes, blue top, white trim, sort of a faded white trim into block white on the shoulders, white shorts, white socks, which is pretty traditional Gillingham that. And then we've got an away kit which is black and white stripes, again harking back to days gone by, and is kind of like faded at the bottom, and I love it. I'm going to spend an absolute fortune on kits this year. I really am. Thankfully, my wife has turned around and said she's not that bothered, so saving money on that. My daughter's got a pink kit. She's happy. She's sorted. Unless they release a new one that in pink, I'll be okay. So let's get Keeley on and show on, and let's see if we can change things up a little bit. Should I add a Champions League trophy pass because you'll be winning that soon? Oh, just don't tease me like that. No, I don't think. I think I've said this before. It won't be in my lifetime, if ever, if ever. But yeah, we don't want to jump the gun on that. I think we'd be tempting fate. Disassi has not had the best of times, so we'll bring a Carney on back there, and that'll do for now. I don't want to bring on too many of my first teamers because I want to save them for Wolfsburg. That is the big one. But for 5 minutes, let's bring on a couple of names. And let's get Simon Hardy and Diamandi on and see if in the last 5 minutes they can do something. Saw someone on Twitter joke about having to set up a direct debit to Gillingham just because there's so many good kits that they're releasing, and we've not had the third kit yet. So I think what they promised us at the end of the season was traditional for the home and away, and something a bit different or a bit new for the third kit. So can't wait to see what they come up with. Part of me is genuinely hoping we have some sort of think of 90s kits. Think of some of the god awful things that came out there. Part of me wants one just because that'd be quite the collector's item. Who's Patrick Burkhart, and why are you not happy? Not getting games. You started 19. It's not that bad. Okay, well, There we go. Well, there we go. So 22 game unbeaten run is a new team record. That was not what I was expecting to see at any point this season. When you think back to the start of the season, when we were 14th, 15th in the league, and looking at relegation as a genuine possibility. In fact, we wouldn't have been around for relegation. We would have been sacked. We're being threatened with being sacked pretty much up until about Freiburg. RP, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. Come say hi, introduce yourself. Who do you support? Have you got a Football Manager save going? Answer any or none of those questions at your leisure. That Gillingham away shirt reminds me a bit of a retro Juventus shirt. I got the same sort of vibes. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the black stripes disappearing completely at the bottom, but I mean, there's just something about it. It feels very modern for a League Two club, and I think that's probably what I like about it. Evening, RP. How are you doing? Like I say, for that third kit, I'd love to see something absolutely mad. I would. Woking fan, nothing wrong with that at all. Well, non-league football is, it's what sets us apart, I think, from many other European leagues and leagues around the world. It's the breadth of our non-league football and the support that you get. Which league are you in at the moment? Your National League, or are you in National League South? I think it's a good shirt. Big up Gillingham. Yeah, honestly, it really is a good shirt. I love it. So I know for certain I'm buying one of at least one home, one away. Well, I'm buying 2 home, 2 away. If I'm getting myself on, my eldest is definitely going to want one as well. It's going to cost me a fortune. Hey, Palermo, season 3, second in Serie A, 6 games to go. Or that's not too bad at all. After just 3 seasons, you've definitely put them into a position I don't think we're seeing Palermo in real life at any point. National League at the moment, bottle promotion. Oh no, you weren't. Were you in the National League? Is so hard to get out of. Did you get into the playoffs? So I think that in itself is it's an achievement. When you look at some of the clubs down there, some pretty well established league clubs. It's really hard. There's a small part of me that thinks, oh yeah, we should probably have a third relegation promotion place by now, because the standard of football between League Two and National League is not that different. It's not that far away. You look at Wrexham, you look at Notts County, they are probably going to be 2 of the favourites to win League Two next year. So it just goes to show that there's not much in it. Stockport came up and nearly went straight up again. So I think it's definitely time to have that conversation. Although there's a part of me, being a fan of a League Two club, that doesn't want to see an extra relegation place. That doesn't sound great. Don't know if I'm a big fan of the home shirt for Gillingham. The away shirt is good though. I do like the home shirt. Although I'm definitely a bigger fan of the away shirt for sure. I think they're both great, but that's the away shirt. Right, that does things to me. It gives me a tingle, that does. To play us in 4th after being 3rd all season, lost to 7th after going 1 up. Or you lot of shirt collectors or something? No, not a shirt collector at all. Just a Gillingham fan. I'm a season ticket holder at Gillingham, as are all my family. My wife, my 3 children. We've all got season tickets there. So yeah, just getting excited about the new season to come. We've had a little bit of investment, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing what the season holds. Right, we are going to just do a 2-minute ad break. I will pick my team and I won't start until we're all back. So see you in a second. Not a fan of our leaked away and third shirt. I'm only a fan of our leaked home shirt. I've not seen any of those actually. Right, strongest team for this one. This game matters more than almost any game we've played up until this point, I think. I might be over dramatising it just a little bit, but this is huge. A win here does an awful lot for us. A loss doesn't necessarily put us out of the Champions League race, but it makes things an awful lot harder. Trying to find anyone who's as bad with money when it comes to shirts as me. It just dropped £90 on a 98 Japan keeper shirt. Got a classic Cantona United shirt last week. That's impressive. Huge collector, got 70 shirts so far. Oh, seeing as you've dropped £90 on a Japanese keeper's shirt from 1998, I'm assuming you don't just stick to Woking shirts then. The only shirt I've got that's not Gillingham. I've got a few England shirts, but the only other one I've got is a Stranraer shirt, and that's well, that's a random one for me to buy. Early 2000s United shirt with Ronaldo on the back. I suppose if you're going to get one, you're going to get one with the man's name, aren't you? £5 from a charity shop in Rochdale. Oh, Cho's offside. That's not a goal. So what? So RP, what's your most random shirt? I mean, Japan '98 goalkeeper shirt is right up there already. Can you top that? Oh, big up the Rochdale. I do feel bad for Rochdale fans. I look at it and I think if it wasn't for Brad and Shannon Gallanson, there would be Gillingham getting relegated from to the National League. I do feel for them. So it's a rough time that. That's just. No, £5 though. That's a hell of a bargain. My youngest son has got an Arsenal shirt with the name Alfie on the back. That I'm not entirely sure how that entered my house. His name's not Alfie, so I have no idea how he got it. Well, it might be Albert, one of them. I think it was like a charity shop or something, and he just wanted a football shirt. I honestly don't know. Galatasaray 2010 away is my most niche. So what's your criteria when you're picking out these weird and wonderful shirts? Is it Are you looking for a particular design? Are you looking for something that you think no one else is likely to have? What's the secret sauce? Oh no, let's not concede to Wolfsburg. Oh, got slightly excited by the fact we'd managed to score a goal, and just immediately we've given it back. And it looks like Mainz lost their game, so a win would actually get us into the top four, as well as dragging Wolfsburg into the battle with us. That's a good ball over the top. We look a little bit crowded in the middle there, don't we? But wow, Cho has absolutely smashed that. Now, referee, let's not do anything silly. Two one, come on. It's definitely. I'm definitely feeling some tension with this one. With the start to the season that we had, being able to qualify for the Champions League would be massive for me. Okay, so it's not, you're not specifically looking for a certain type of shirt, just one that fits, which is generally what I'm looking for as well. And yeah, good looks. Why not? It's the Japan keeper shirt, a short sleeved one. So I think I've got an England goalkeeper's top, which is long sleeved, which I used to wear when I played five-a-side football. I played in goal, unsurprisingly. I mean, my football shirts from a charity shop, apart from a few exceptions like the Kansas shirt. Yeah, I mean, they're bloody expensive if you don't. And even Gillingham, I think I pay £50 for an adult shirt. So yeah, they're not cheap. I completely get why you'd look to charity shops where you can. I, I, I can only imagine what your shirts cost brand new. I'm sure Tottenham, is it 90 quid, something like that. I bought my son a PSG top because he's a Messi lover, and got him a PSG top with Messi printed on back, and that was £100. It's painful money. It really is. Keeney's also tired, so let's do a little bit of that. Call you a defensive midfielder, and yeah, didn't realise I had two pivots. That's interesting. That's worked quite as well as it has. Somewhat accidental, that. How much did that Kansnar shirt cost you? Was that like an eBay jobby? Oh, that's 3-2. Well, let's not throw this away now. Right, we're gonna do a bit of time wasting. And it's probably time to make a sub or two as well. Right. Diamandi's done well, but looks tired. So we'll get Vega on. Let's get Ralph Dor on, because again, he does pop up with stuff every now and then. I've kind of run out of, let's go with the left back. Change the wing back, get some fresh legs down the left hand side there, and hope that something goes well. 70 quid from the mega store. I mean, that's just so much money. There's probably going to be like limited editions or special editions, aren't there, that will also cost an arm and a leg. Well, a win's a win, and that's a huge win. I'm delighted with that. Like thousands on shirts over my 2 years. You've only been collecting for 2 years, and you've got 70 already. That's impressive. Yes, I don't mind a long sleeved shirt. I used to, when I played at school, I used to wear a long sleeve as well. When I even outfield, I just felt more comfortable in a long sleeve for some reason. Got the Kansas shirt for £100, which in my opinion is a good price for that shirt. But it probably is. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I know what it costs to collect classic shirts like that, but I would imagine they don't go up, they don't go down in price, do they? Especially when they've got his name on the back. Well, first, I got completely hooked. AC Milan third shirt, 2920 was my first one. I I love pretty much every AC Milan home shirt. I don't think I know that third shirt. So, when you bought that shirt, were you looking to start a collection, or did you buy it and think, "Wow, I need more now"? So, what came first, the idea of collection or that AC Milan shirt? Because I can see the draw to it. I really can. Um, Especially as I play, yeah. So when I'm playing Football Manager and I'm moving around from club to club, the temptation to go and buy a shirt from every club I've managed in Football Manager, it's it's really quite strong. Um, so far, we have been all round. Say all round. We've done a bit of a trek around Europe. A couple of teams in Sweden, starting at the very bottom. Dundee United, Rangers, and now Hertha. I've had saves where I've travelled to far more teams than that. Can you imagine one save could be very pricey? Swerved red line design. It's a black shirt. Oh, okay. I think I remember the one you're talking about there. Was that your away kit or your third kit? Wasn't it that one? Okay, so we are now in the Champions League places. Plus, actually, I didn't check whether that second Wolfsburg goal changed that. I think we are almost certain to be fourth because we've scored so many goals. Yeah, and actually, of course, our goal difference would have gone up and theirs would have gone down if they lost. So we've still got a game in hand on them and Gladbach now. So we've got a real chance to put a bit of breathing space between us and make the end of the season just that little bit more comfortable. Um, but first, let's go into our quarter final tie with AZ Alkmaar and get ourselves into a European semi final. Everyone open the pockets. Mbappe is ready to leave PSG. Or was this a new development? I think earlier we were talking about the fact he said he won't renew he's written a letter saying he won't renew his contract. So is he now saying that's it? He's on his way? If you're PSG, you've got to sell him. You've got to. You can't let him walk out the door for nothing. Any offer they like will be accepted. Yeah, but what's an offer they're going to like? Actually, let me just tweet at Brad Gallinson. Just alert him. I mean, it's not beyond possible that Mbappe might end up at England, in England at Gillingham, right? It's perfectly possible. You're more than welcome to tell me I'm mad at this point. I could offer him he gets 50 quid and a pair of Jordans. And his wages are genuinely going to be going to stretch most teams. There are very few teams in the world who can look to bring in Mbappe. Do you think we might see a cheeky bid somewhere from the Middle East? Taking a pay cut just to get away from PSG. Do you think something's happened there? Or do you think it's just he realises that it's not a competitive league? You don't get better as a player at PSG. And obviously they've tried and failed to win the Champions League, which I think is probably something he wants on his CV before he eventually gives up football. I think it's perfectly understandable. You would want to have that on your CV if you're a player who has the reputation he has is getting paid the money he has. You'd think he needs that to top off his career. Do you think Real Madrid might go back in for him after what happened before, though? They're one of the few teams that I can think of that would have the financial muscle. Man City, perhaps. And beyond that, who else you got? Bayern Munich, maybe, but I don't think that's any. I suppose it's a better quality league than France, but it's no more competitive. Oh, you're in a league game? Okay, mate. Well, enjoy. I hope you managed to get that win. Welcome back, RP. So we've moved the conversation slightly onto Mbappe leaving PSG, speculating over where he might go. Off the top of my head, Real Madrid and Man City are two teams that I think could afford him. I was trying to find any shirts which I haven't worn in a while. Actually, you do wear them. You don't keep them framed or in some sort of sort of wardrobe dressed in plastic or anything. So I thought Real Madrid was probably the place, but are they going to want him after last time, or do you think it's just a case of money talks? Real Madrid can't afford to turn someone of his talent down based on a petty grudge from last season or last summer. Where all of the only ones that frame is any match wall or signed shirts. Yeah, that makes sense. We're making hard work of this. I'm getting a bit what I genuinely expected us to breeze through. probably quite arrogantly, given that we're in a quarter final for European competition. But Burkholt is there, and I think that's perfectly legit. Linesman's just run off. Goal. Real Madrid would do anything to get him at this point. I reckon might have blown the whole budget on Bellingham, and that one shocked me. That genuinely did. I was certain Bellingham was coming back to England. I suppose Bayern Munich are probably out of the running if they've said they can't afford Declan Rice and the asking price that West Ham have put on for him. They're obviously not going to be able to afford Mbappe, are they? So then the question is, can Man City do something to tempt him? Because I can't see anyone else who's going to have the muscle, whether that be in terms of competitiveness or money, to draw him in. Let's also bring off Diamande, I think. Give Hildebrand a run out in the centre. And Mbappe and Vinicius would be, well, that would be a hell of a pairing up front. Oh, he's not going to fucking City. Sauce bitty United fan. Honestly, Chief, for your sake, I hope you're right. I think if Man City managed to sign Mbappe, Premier League almost stops becoming a competition at that point. If City get Haaland and Mbappe in the same team, they're just taking the mick at this point. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's two. Again, going into the semi-finals, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to leave Burkholt on to give him a chance to finish off that hat trick. We'll give Herrera some time, and let's yeah, we'll change things in the sense there, just to make sure. Well, all I can say is I hope that Andy Hess and Tyler, Kenny Jackett, and Neil Harris right now are huddled round a desk somewhere, trying to see whether they can find the money to at least put in some sort of bid. We've got to try, haven't we? We should offer PSG Harry Maguire and 10 million. No way they'd reject that. I don't think they could reject it. They'd be too busy rolling around on the floor laughing. And Burkholt does get his hat trick. Well, we left it late in this one, but we have managed to get the win. And my bold plan to play an absolutely inexperienced second string in the first leg and hope they made it through without losing has paid off. And it meant that we did win the Wolfsburg game. We've gone and done the job in the second leg here as we hoped, and we've now got a cup semi-final. We've got a Conference League semi-final, and we're in the Champions League places. It's all coming up Hertha so far tonight. With any luck, we will see a trophy lift. don't get a huge amount of money in the Conference League, do you? I think in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, that's what, 8 million, something like that. 10 times as much as we're being given. And we have got Everton, which is what I feared on the last one. I'd like to think we are a better side than Everton, who are 9th in the Premier League at the moment, and they're not awful, but they're not really in European places. So our form has been incredible. That is 23 games unbeaten, is it? Or was that 24? I think 23. 22 was after the first AZ game. So 24 games unbeaten. Got to fancy our chances against Everton. The only downside, well, the only worry really is the fact that English teams are so overpowered in Football Manager. There we go, 24. I can just tell if we get Sheikh Jassim as owner, transfer room of Mbappe's United is going to randomly links for us, according to Dave from Stoke. Oh, of course, of course. Dave from Stoke will, I mean, he's all over this. Guarantee you he's got 7 tweets lined up. 7 different teams. All rumours, all linked. And it would be, I mean, that would be a statement signing, but I think the problem there is you've had no success recently. Have you got the recent reputation to pull Mbappe in? I think realistically there are 2 countries he moves to, Spain and or England. His best mates with the Sheikh, yeah. Dave's got his connections. Dave knows. Yeah, he's going to Spain or England. Real Madrid got to be favourites surely, but I think if Man City were to put in a bid, I don't think he'd turn them down. And Man United obviously would be right in there. But I mean that's the sort of thing that, you know, Sheikh Jassim, if he does buy Man United, surely that's the sort of thing he wants to put on a platter for the fans and say, look, this is how much, this is what you're going to get from me. This is how I'm going to draw the club in. This is how I'm going to start putting us back towards the top of the league. It might be one of those marquee signings that he would have to throw absolutely everything at. He would probably own half of Manchester. Besides Mbappe for us, I'm not going to complain. Don't think anyone would. Although there'll be a fan out there somewhere who just goes, oh, I don't think Mbappe's that good. I don't rate him. Yeah, he's fast, but is he that good really? You'll get a few people out there like that. You always do. Arminia Bielefeld. That's should be an easy one. Bottom of the league there. 1 win, 4 draws. They're going to end our unbeaten run, aren't they? This is what Football Manager likes to do. They are going to end our unbeaten run. Just feel it. I wanted us to sign Weghorst. Oh, Chief. I mean, just from that, I think any conversation we have about transfers now is tainted by that forever. This is a man who couldn't even break into the team at Burnley. Was it just because he was something different? Big, tall striker. Was it desperation at that point? I'm taking a piss. Oh, thank God for that. Thank goodness for that. Okay. Right, we're going to do ads again before the next match. So see you back here in a couple of minutes. Those of you who are kind enough to watch the ads for me. And you will be watching us play bottom of the league and probably losing a 24-match winning streak to them, or unbeaten streak, I should say. So join us again in a couple of minutes. And Chief, honestly, I was this close to banning you, just on the back of that. I think I probably would have just called it a first strike. He's fucking sure he's what a giant, and he can't head the football and be a threat in the air. No, I mean, we had at the start of last season at Gillingham, we had Mikael Mandron, and he's 6'3". He has the build of a mobile target man, but he could not win a ball in the air. Honestly, Neil Harris likes his target men. They play a big part in a Neil Harris team. And he could not win a ball in the air. And what was worse, and it was a bit that frustrated me more than anything, was he didn't even try to make it hard for the defenders. Like even if you're not necessarily winning the ball every time, you've got to put yourself about a bit. You've got to get in their face. You've got to make it hard for them. You've got to make them just panic occasionally. He completely failed to do even that. And it frustrated me so much. We see in January we've got Ollie Hawkins, who's an absolute mountain of a man, and I've watched teams have to put 2 or 3 men on him, meaning that our little 5'9" striker has scored a few goals with his head because everyone's ignoring him. I'd rather sign Danny G than bring Weghorst back. Yeah. Oh mate, Danny G would definitely win the ball more. And we all know how tough Danny G is. He would absolutely smash him. Right, let's give Vega a game. Don't know what's wrong with Diamande. I'm going to just play it cautious. And we'll give Adiemi a run out as well. He'd be the modern Duncan Ferguson up front. And I don't want to be one of those guys who says, oh, the game's gone, or any of that nonsense. But I struggle to see Duncan Ferguson being able to play much in the modern game. When he collected a few red cards in his career as it was, but if he were playing now, how often would he actually be available to play? All right. Bielefeld, we're coming for you. Duncan Ferguson, he was a monster. I don't necessarily mean, monster in terms of footballing talent. I mean, he was an actual monster. You would not want to be on the same pitch as him. But then that was his job. I would probably smash League 2 in the 15 games a season he'd be allowed to play. But some of that, I think, does show how far the game's come on since his days. In the Premier League in particular, the game has transformed in the last 30 years. Gillingham's new signing, what, Duncan Ferguson? Well, I mean, a peak Duncan Ferguson, I wouldn't say no. Sometimes a football team needs a right horrible bastard. They do. They need one of them. Especially in the lower leagues. Someone who gets in the face of opponents, winds them up, puts them off, just completely puts them off their game. Makes a huge difference to have someone like that around. As much as I'd love to say no, I'd want proper football. I'd want, you know, passing around, tiki-taka type of football. Doesn't really work too well in League Two, unless you are significantly better than the other side. Leyton Orient, I think, were case in point for that. They played some lovely football, but they were so much better than any other team that we couldn't get near them. But you do see some teams who try to play the ball around too much, and because they're not as strong with the physical side of the game, they're just not successful. So they're playing football against teams who are set up to disrupt them from playing football. And in League Two, physicality wins. Less so in League One, I think. And obviously the Championship is worlds away from League One. But League Two in particular, you need your nasty boys. We're not winning this one as comfortably as I'd like to. And every time they get forward, I get nervous. Next year of 2.28. Oh my god. Told you, Football Manager. It just likes to create drama. Let's try and get them motivated for this second half. Need a goal, please, gents. Oh my god. There is no other explanation than that other than Football Manager needs us not to win this game. In fact, it wants us to lose this game. We're on the 24-game unbeaten run, and apparently my best fullback, my best defender full stop, has decided that he needs to just put that ball on the penalty spot. Right, we're going to berate the team, and we're going to hope that someone steps up for us here. It's a good tackle from Gabri Veiga there. But we lose the ball. Cohane losing the ball again. Thankfully, Veiga managed to pick it up, but he's not having a great one. And oh, we've hit the post. Right, we're going to go. Well, not going to go with very attacking. That's silly. We're going to go attacking, and we are going to get Cohane off, just so we can't do something silly again. Veiga's coming off because I want Diamande to add a bit of pace to that midfield. And Akani can come off for Chrysostomou. And we'll see how we get on with that. Wholesale changes. We need to make some drastic changes to try and get ahead in this game. And Ralph Dawes got himself injured in just a couple of minutes. Brilliant. Okay. Let's get Cho on his favoured right-hand side, I think. And you can play as a winger. Fingers crossed. And with that, it looks like we're dropping back out of the Champions League places because we can't beat the team bottom of the league. We've only managed 4 draws and 1 win. Did you ever see that video Duncan Ferguson made for a fan? No, I can't say I did. The fact you're asking me about it suggests either it's the sort of video that shows he's a nice guy really, but it was just a git on the football pitch, or he's just a git all round. And he's just, yeah, that's not a football persona. That's just him. Come on, boys. Oh, and Cho has put that one into the top corner. It didn't look like the cleanest of strikes. And the goalkeeper looks like he's had a bad day there, isn't he? He's had a bad time at the office with that one. Looks like he just fumbled that into the net. No, it's funny as fuck. Okay, right, we've gone a third direction. You think you might have permission to post links in the chat if you've got one. If not, I'll go search for it. But first, let's get through this incredibly, surprisingly difficult match against Bielefeld. Let's close them down. Put a boot in. Oh, that's terrible defending. But thank goodness Marechal is alert. We'll have to tell them to focus, I think. We'll wait to see what happens after this. We look panicked. We really do. Again, I'm going to wait to see what happens with this highlight, but I may take the drastic step of going defensive. Cho, can he do something for us? He came on and got the goal that put us ahead. And he's very much been our talisman this season so far. Despite my ill-judged complaint that he wasn't scoring enough goals. I think it was more that he was just missing chances. And, well, being the fickle football fan I am, oh my goodness, that gave them far too much space there. But Cho, Adiemi, and I think that should be it. We're not going to VAR, are we? No, we'll go defensive, and we are going to hold on for dear life. Well, 3-1 makes that look like that was quite comfortable. It didn't feel it, not from my seat. But we are up to third. We still have a game in hand on Wolfsburg. We have a game in hand on Mainz and Gladbach. A win. It doesn't quite put us there, but it gets us an awful lot closer to the Champions League, that is. Adiemi had a good match, scoring 2 goals in a fairly rare start for him. We only got him in on loan because I felt we were just a bit weak there, and we needed someone else who was German trained. And well, he's come in and done quite well. 5 goals from 7 starts is not a bad return at all. Alright, Doors out for 3 to 4 weeks, which is pretty much the rest of the season. We might sneak back for one of these later games, but Ralph Dort is probably done, so Adiemi might play a bit of a role on the left wing sometimes as well. I don't think we should be able to type Duncan Ferguson message fan. That should be him on the Goodison pitch. Okay. Alright. Let's see what we can find. You've not steered me wrong before, so Let's see what we can find here. Right. We're talking about this one, aren't we? that's great. I love it. His follow up is, did he ever go around for lunch? Gotta love stuff like that. We'll never know. I know, that's a sad thing. There's going to be a post on Twitter or Facebook or something from someone, from this kid perhaps, who says, yeah, I had the greatest day of my life with Duncan Ferguson or something. But no one will ever see it. I do think it goes to show, though, I mean, players from his generation, they were normal people, weren't they? Not to say that footballers these days aren't normal people, but my God, you look at some of them and they've got a privileged lifestyle that 99.9% of the population will never know. Never know. Whereas I think footballers back then were closer to the fans. I think you still see it in lower league. You see it in non-league. Players are, a lot of players are still quite close to the fans. But Premier League footballers, you wouldn't get that off them. No, well, you might do, but they'd probably have to pay for it. The website isn't there where you can do that. Pay celebrities to leave you a birthday message or something along those lines. Right, we've got Stuttgart, and it is an away match. So, Ro van den Ham and his Chrysostomy fit. Yeah, we'll do that. Cohane, we're going to give him a chance to. Have to give him a chance to redeem himself after that nightmare goal that he caused. Kari. Let's give Hildebrand to lay a run out. And Yimi's earned a start. And we'll go with Cho. And Lochi can have a little sit on the bench today. Do you know what? I noticed when he said mate, it sounded very Scouse. Could definitely tell from that word in particular just how long he spent in Liverpool. Oh, that's an early warning. Come on, lads, pull it together. Yeah, no, there was definitely some Scouse in his accent there, 100%. Whenever I hear this song now, all I can think of is the US Office. Going to Liverpool next week. Do you reckon I should wear my United shirt? Mission behind enemy lines. Well, if you do wear your United shirt, can you just sort of knock up maybe sort of 10 or so emotes before you go? Not that I think anything will happen, but just in case. Oh wow. I suppose it for me living in London, I see a whole plethora of football shirts around. Honestly, no round near where I live, you see Charlton shirts, but you'll see Chelsea shirts, Arsenal shirts, Tottenham shirts, Liverpool shirts, Man United shirts, just everyone. Is it really? Do you reckon it's really that bad going to Liverpool in a Man United shirt? It probably is actually. What am I talking about? Of course it is. Did you see many Liverpool shirts wandering around in Manchester? I think I can confidently say I've never seen a Liverpool shirt while being in Manchester. I've only been there, what, twice, so not the biggest sample to look at. That's a solid start to this match so far. Someone went to Liverpool for my United shirt, and there was a fake stall selling Liverpool shirt, and he started arguing with me. I mean, oh god, that's brilliant. I mean, props to you for wearing it in the first place. Not everyone would. Well, I know, I certainly wouldn't. But I just love the fact that, yeah. So did he just spot your shirt and say, "Oh, you know what, you shouldn't be wearing that," or something along those lines? I'll be honest. The only time I've ever seen that sort of thing has been, yeah, playful banter. Not much more to it than that. But I do know the rivalry there. I just wonder how serious that might get. I've never seen a Liverpool shirt in Manchester except for when they play in Manchester. That makes sense. And Chrysostomy with number 3. Oh, I went to order shot in a Woking shirt and got mugged. You're kidding me. That's ridiculous. I mean, it is Aldershot, so I suppose we should probably expect that sort of thing to happen. But oh, I say that I'm trying to keep in my head some sort of idealised view almost of non-league football and non-league football fans being more mature, more. They're not. They're absolutely not. I've seen enough footage of fights happening at non-league and fairly low-level semi-pro games to make me know that people, yeah, fans get just as stupid at non-league matches as they do at any other. I went to the store last week to sell any good teams. Chief, now I kind of feel like you might have started that one. It's a valid question. Don't get me wrong, valid question. Do you send anything that someone might actually like to receive? You're left-footed, but you'll just have to play out there. Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. 3-0 up, 10 minutes to go. We'll waste some time, and hopefully this will be our first final of the evening. Hold on, I just walked off with my friends and laughed. Let's restart that game. We're not mature at all. Someone threw a penny through the ref's car window. That shouldn't make me laugh. Oh, it shouldn't. There was some. What I found funny about that was, for whatever reason, it was the fact that it was a penny. I mean, pulling a knife on you is incredible. Just, and walking away like that is, I mean, you. I'm glad nothing happened to you, but that feels like a scary thing to do. But we've just got more money for getting into the final of the German Cup than we got for getting into the semi-final of the Europa Conference League. That doesn't seem right to me. And we have got the dream final here against Bayern Munich. That's, well, let's see how that one goes. But I don't think we're winning any silverware there. But yeah, no, I'm glad you're okay, RP. Just, yeah, the idea of just walking away from someone who's holding a knife. I mean, the fact that you called his bluff and it worked, but I'm not sure it's worth it. Just ask if he sold any actual good teams. He started arguing with me, and I was just pissing myself laughing mainly because of his accent. All right, now I can say for sure you definitely started that. You went there looking for that. Used to it at this point, always walking around in football shirts. I'm bound to get targeted by some people, aren't I? I mean, yeah, I think sadly that is still the case. I can't say I've ever had that sort of trouble. I don't know if it's more because these days I've usually got a child with me. I don't know if that makes people less stupid about this sort of stuff. Because let's face it, if you're the sort of person who engages in violence over football, you are stupid. No two ways about it. The self-defense, that's another thing entirely, but if you are starting violence or encouraging violence because of the football team you support or the football team they support, you have complete lack of brain cells. There's no nice way of saying that. I wouldn't even attempt to say it in a nice way. It was just after we got a top four and they'd be playing Europa League, so probably the worst time to go wearing a United shirt. Did you go to Liverpool specifically to go and find people to go and wind up? I'm a cocky non-league club ultra trouble follows me around. But this is the thing. I've known people who would consider themselves ultras. And maybe I've got the definition wrong, but they wouldn't look to start a fight on it. It's okay, 99% of the time banter, but you'll always get one moron who either gets offended by something or is looking to start something, and it always, yeah, it goes too far. You're back. Well, okay, let's open Discord and see how you got on. Well, I just realised I probably missed the last ad break on when that was going on. Apologies. I am trying to get better at giving warnings when they're coming. Right, there we go. This is the result. I mean, that looks pretty good to me. Does this mean you won? I assume you won. You won, right? Yeah. So I'm quite clueless, but I'm glad you did, mate. I'm glad you did. Because the one I was watching you earlier didn't look good at all. It looked like your teammates just abandoned you entirely. When I see a guy selling Liverpool shite, I had to just laugh at them fucking up top four. Yeah, it does go both ways when United miss out on Europe as well. I'm sure it will go both ways. Working made friends with someone called Flaky starts fights every week nowadays. It's just a joke. Yeah, this is it. I've loved banter. I do. I've got Arsenal friend is an Arsenal season ticket holder. I love winding them up. Although I know when to pick my time. I at least give him a couple of hours before I message him saying, "Oh, you blew that one." But it's the violence. Just there's no need for it. Without me saying anything, I did generally get some people saying shit to me because I'm a United fan, and my mates still laugh at the Scouser at the skull. Well, I don't go to Liverpool, do I? No. No, that's sensible. That's sensible. Just hide away. But you're gonna have to convince me a little bit more that you didn't go to Liverpool on purpose to do that. I've heard your argument that you went with your mate, but I'm not convinced you didn't do it just so you could go and find someone to wind up. Look at that goal Ducky sending Discord. Was that the one where the goalkeeper just jumps up and just tips it into the goal? Or is there another one that I've missed? Oh, no, new one. Got a new one. It goes in through the side of the net, does it? Okay. Hold on. Oh, that frame's awkwardly placed, but it definitely looks that way. Oh, God. Is that on FM19? Right, let's pick a team for this next match. Right, we've got an ad coming, so we won't start the match until that's finished. But we'll pick the side. It's academy player for Palermo. My save is just a joke. Scored 6 and he's worth 26 million at the moment at 18. It's lovely when you find those. My boy here, Ralph Dorr, is 18 and he's worth 70 million. Different league, but he's different class. Wouldn't spend money just to piss people off. I'm not that sad. I mean, there's a time and a place for that, for sure. I'd say it's probably not worth putting yourself in bodily danger to do so, but there's definitely a time and a place for that. Sometimes you can spend a few quid to get a laugh out of someone, or at someone. All right, what we've got after this, Everton's next on Thursday. 5-day gap, that's fine. We can still play the first team in this one. Although actually, I want to give Gabri Veiga just a bit more game time. At the start of the season, Gabri Veiga was scoring goals for fun for us. Actually, let's give Akerley a run out. That shit happens in 23 as well. Sad to say. I've not seen that one in particular. I have seen goalkeepers messing up all over the place, and defenders doing some absolutely bizarre things, including tonight when my left back, the best player in my defence, decided against the team that was bottom of the league, has only won one game all season. They've drawn 4 all season. They've got 7 points, 30 odd matches into the season, and he just passes the ball nowhere, not even in the direction of another player of wearing our shirt, onto the penalty spot for their striker. Thankfully, we did still go on to win the game, but there are times when it definitely feels a bit contrived. The drama they try to create. Adeyemi and Lochi. Might even give Lochi some time off the bench if we can. The big 6'6" striker is not. He's not at our level just yet, but he certainly could be. And if he's a 6'6" striker, I will find a way to get him into more games. If we win the league, I may have to go to Liverpool to piss the Scousers off. Yeah, similarly, same caveat there. Can you do any emotes that you've got planned before you go to Liverpool? Like I say, nothing's going to happen. Just, just in case. Oh, let's get that light on. Was that an almost highlight there? Interesting. Oh, and okay, that's a block. I thought that was just the worst shot I've ever seen. To the Mank Batman. Oh, there is nothing quite so so ballsy as a self-appointed nickname. Mank Man. Mank Man and the Ultra. Well, Freiburg are another team that are hovering above the relegation zone, and we really should be doing an awful lot better. Actually, no, I'm going to give you I'm not pleased because we're not dominating in any area of the game really. I think we've probably had more of the ball. Yep, but we're not doing anything with it. And when what little they do have of the ball, they are creating chances. And we're giving them far too much time and space there. Scouse Buster. Yeah, Mankman and the Ultra, that's definitely your Marvel name. Come on, lads. There we go. Or would it be more DC, do you think? Take it down a darker route. Alright. Changes are much needed here. Let's get Diamandi on because we know what he gives us going forward. Carrion Akeley's not really produced anything, and that's something Kohane can do. And hold on to the last two for now. We're also going to go attacking. If Scouser says it, I'll just say, "I'm Mank Man, what you going to do?" Oh dear. See, this is when I could have done with a goal going in through the side netting. Never happens when you need it. That's a good ball for Cho, who looked offside. Nothing's been given though. We are continuing. Oh, come on, let's not balls it up now. Have I ever been to Liverpool? Yeah, just the once for work about probably early 2020 or late 2019. Actually, no, I think it was fairly warm, so it was probably summer of 2019, I reckon I went. I was there just for one night. I'd literally turned up at like 8, 9 o'clock in the evening, and was back on my way to London at about midday after a meeting. Oh, and I think we might just have got a very late breakthrough there, very late breakthrough even. Speak words, Adam. Ooh. Some cracker with a multicoloured afro wig. There's a broken Mickey Mouse guitar who sings near the Primark, and Liverpool won there. Wow, okay. So yeah, I stayed near the big train station, and I went for a meeting that was sort of fairly near to the docks. Walked through Chinatown, I think it was, to get there. Don't remember passing a Primark. But I mean, really didn't get too much chance to explore the place. Had a meeting at 9 o'clock, so I went up the night before as late as possible. Found the hotel, had a couple of beers, went to sleep, went to work, straight back on the train afterwards. Missed out on Crackhead Craig then. Now, apparently I did. A couple of times I've been to Manchester. I've not really spent that much time there either. Well, there we go. We've qualified for the Europa League, which is, I think, was the minimum. Although, yeah, qualify for Europa League. We've done that. Well, here it says qualify for the Champions League, so who knows what they want me to do. Supporters wanted Champions League, and I think we're pretty much there. 3 games left. Okay, we can't be too confident yet. We could still throw this away. A 36-year-old Kyle Walker has just scored a banger from 38 yards. Kyle Walker, I mean, I can imagine in real life he's still playing till he is 38. He's still got speed. I know that he's had some injury problems of late, but I reckon he'll go forever. If you can go to the big city in the north, there's only one choice, and that shithole 35 miles to the west of us. You mean Newcastle? Newcastle's the place to go, right? That's what I've heard. No, I've been to Manchester twice, so that is my most visited northern city. But depending where you're from, we count Birmingham in that. I know it's Midlands, but it's north of Watford. Surprised Latham went this season. Yeah, so I don't know. Was that just spur of the moment? Was that just announced, or was that something that people knew it was happening? I didn't know he was planning to retire. So yeah, that came as a bit of a shock to me. I mean, to the fact that he was 41 and still playing top flight football in Italy, which it's not a mugs game there. It's impressive. The man's a specimen. Birmingham ain't North and never will be. No, I know it won't be, Chief. Merely pulling your leg. We don't claim the Midlands, you claim them if you want to. No, we're not claiming the Midlands either. They're not southern. They might not be northern, but they're definitely not southern. They're just there. They exist as a buffer between north and south. I guess that's why they call them the Midlands. Now, we were looking at you when we were at Rangers, and £24 million seemed like an awful lot of money. Doesn't look like quite the same awful amount of money anymore. But if you go up, I think that cancels that relegation release clause if they go back up. I'll add you to the transfer list anyway. That's the big brain idea, to call them Midlands. Exactly. It's almost like someone had figured this out before us, Chief. 18. Technically very good. The flair. I've looked at you before. I'd need to move you onto this right wing, but oh, you're on a shortlist. Of course, I've looked at you before. So, RP, did you get to go to either of your games against Wrexham this season? It's definitely on the list for for me and the wife at least to go do the away game. And we're season ticket holders at Gillingham, so we'll definitely be doing the home game. And Notts County is another one I want to do as well. So many good players. Really depends on what sort of budget we get next season. Guaranteed minimum 32 mil. It's not awful. It kind of keeps us to one marquee signing, I reckon, depending on what kind of business we do with players out. There's definitely we've got some interest in some of these boys, haven't we? I don't want to get rid of Nkili, but I can't say no if they do that. Akane, not been brilliant actually. You've got a release clause. Oh, that's pretty low. But it could be a bit of change this summer. Hendrick first hat-trick for the club. What a baller. I love Hendrick in this game. In my offline save, I've got him at Gillingham, who we are now in the Premier League, and actually last time I played it, we won the Premier League. I did the double, Premier League and Champions League. It's amazing what giving a club £50 million in game can do. Now Kyle Walker has been sold. Yeah, got to cash in on him. 36. Can't do it at the top level forever, can he? Got working to UCL semis and got bored, yeah. Well, I think what we're planning to do, or no, what I'm definitely planning to do this summer is once we've won the Champions League in this save, we're going to do a creator club. Whether I'm going to do it through the game or whether I'll dip into the database editor and create a club that way. I don't know. But I've downloaded a database that takes England down to level 13 from the Steam Workshop. And we'll look to create clubs in the West Kent Division 2 and see how far we go. My chief artist, Chief's Kingdom, has started. He's given us the club badge inspiration, which we'll pop in chat now. And well, we'll finish that off and turn it into a circular badge, I think. And yeah, that'll be us for the summer. And we're just going to see how far we can go before FM24 comes out. I expect that one to be quite a lengthy one. 6 million for Palermo at this point isn't bad. You got £6 million for Carl Walker. That's not bad, is it? What else have we got coming up? Nuremberg, fine. We can concentrate on Everton. Bayer Leverkusen's another one we should win. RB Leipzig, and then okay. We absolutely can put our first team out for this one. We must put our first team out for this one, I'd say. Okay, here we go. Are we going to make it into a European final? It's a big test, Everton. Alright, let's go and do a thing. That's the one, Chief. Like I said, I reckon what we do, circular, stick a club name on top, establish 2023 or something like that on the bottom, and that's our new club badge. That's going to look incredible. The thing I'm finding though is I've never created a club in game. I think the way it works is that you replace an existing club. So I did a little test, and basically a takeover from a club that already exists. You can't replace, unfortunately, say an under-23 team or a reserve team in the league. You have to replace a senior team. So, but if I go into the database editor, I can take them out, whip in a new club, and do it that way. But I've not tried that yet. And this is not the start we wanted against Everton. I'm going to berate them. Not pleased with that. Not pleased at all. Come on, Hertha. Oh, good lord. Cohane. Called you my best defender, but I'm really beginning to doubt myself now. Something in his head doesn't work properly, poor Cohane. Still, it is the away leg. One goal isn't disastrous. Got Cole Palmer playing for them. Oh dear lord. 2 goals. Not disastrous, but not good. And we've just given them that. Right. Arm thrashing at half time. It's good for us all. How about them Cowboys? Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. So Cowboys, who do you support, and do you have an FM save going as well? Oh, I don't like this Junior Adamu. He's upsetting me. Oh, he's really upsetting me. Wow. I mean, tight market. We're going to have to show him onto his weaker foot, but I don't think that's going to do a damn thing. The 4-4-2 is an absolute beast in this. Right, let's pick up the tempo. Let's get the ball forward a bit more. We are going to try and go narrow. We'll press even more. It's a risk, but I think we need 1 goal back at least. We are not turning this around by 3 goals. And let's make some changes. You're right-footed, Adiemi. You're left-footed. Let's get you in on the right then. Cho will stay on because he always has the ability to turn it round. Chrysostomu can come off as well. Right, let's see if 4 changes does anything for us. I've currently got an Aston Villa save. I used to like Aston Villa saves, particularly when they were back in the Championship. It felt like a proper rebuild save because they're a big club. They really are. Oh, come on. How have we not got a goal from that? How are you getting on so far, Cowboys? Well, we've got 1 back. That is good. Let's encourage them. See if we can go and make that 2. That's a belter from Kari. He's done a couple of these for us this season. He's definitely scored a couple from outside the box. You might say there's a case for me playing him a little bit more frequently. That gives me a little bit of hope for the second leg. If we can grab a second, however, I'd have even more. But this isn't going the right way, and that's a good save from Marechal. Right. Let this corner go. Please clear it. Pause, and I think Hardy needs to come off, and we are actually quite short of options now. We're going to put Lugalu on. We'll make you. Let's keep using inverted. I'll keep it pushing the inside forward. You can be an inverted winger. Let's see if anything happens from that. My first season I had Nottingham Forest save, 4 Villa save. I'm currently 3rd in the table in the Carabao Cup final. I mean, that's really good first season with Villa. That's really good. And they had a hell of a revival as well, didn't they? After they sacked Gerrard, Aston Villa became a completely different team. No, we're not saying unlucky. We're going to thrash some arms. Let's let them know that we aspire to be a better team than that. Made a few very good signings. I mean, it makes a hell of a difference. It's one of my favourite parts about a football manager, really, is the transfer market. because you can absolutely change a team with just 2 or 3 signings. So I'm a Gillingham fan. I'm a season ticket holder there with my wife and my 3 kids, and I can say truthfully they go willingly. Honestly, they do. uh, so I've been a season ticket holder. Only been a season ticket holder actually for the last 2 seasons. Before that, my kids were too young to come. Couldn't really justify it to myself or to my wife that I was going to go away and watch football every other Saturday. So I went very, very casually, like very few games at all, one every couple of years, and it would just be following them on TV, on Twitter and things, until after COVID. And I thought, well, my son's old enough. Having watched a few iFollow games in empty stadiums, I was like, it's not the same, and I needed to take that next step. So I got a season ticket with my eldest son, who turns out he loves football. Wasn't too bothered until I took him. He wouldn't sit and watch football on TV with me. Still won't. But when it comes to a game, he's all in. How about you? What's your side? No worries, Chief. Welcome back. Yeah, Twitch will eat through your phone battery. My wife actually found us an excellent battery pack. I think it holds enough charge for 4 full charges from nothing to full, and you can charge. I think it's up to 4 phones at a time, or 4 devices at a time. You've got 2 USB-A ports and 2 USB-C ports, and it's just brilliant. Don't think it properly fast charges, but it's still a decent speed of charge. Highly recommend it. I'll see if I can find the details for it. Awesome, that new owner you guys got seems like it could be a great owner for you guys, making a lot of good changes at the club. Huge changes at the club. And so, I don't know how much you know about the situation at Gillingham beforehand, but the last owner, he'd lost love for it. Didn't have the money to bankroll us, so there were a lot of cuts. There really were. The playing budget got cut. Even the off-field budget was bare minimum, and it showed. Like, we weren't able to open kiosks for food or anything like that. That's the stage we'd got to. We were bottom of the league, 5 points behind Rochdale, I believe, 6 points away from safety, who I think it was Colchester at the time, when the Gallantsons turned up in Medway. And in that January transfer window, we signed 11 players, not necessarily all first teamers, and one was just making a loan move permanent. But that change was absolutely massive. And then there was all the off-field stuff as well. Simple things that you look at other clubs and you think, why have we not got that? Things such as having TVs behind the stand in the not carousel, that's the wrong word, in the concourse. Behind the stand, where you go and get a pint, you can sit and stand there and watch the TV. Making sure that the stadium bar was open and was fully staffed. Simple stuff like being able to serve hot food in the stadium, which was something that up until they turned up, we hadn't had for a while. So yeah, they've made some great changes, and next season, I'm very excited. We're getting a jumbotron, as Brad calls it. So we're getting a big screen. We are getting digital advertising boards. We are obviously investing in the playing staff. We've got we've got a proper football structure in place. We've got a director of football. We've got a head of recruitment. We've got proper football infrastructure in place now. And it shouldn't be something like that that excited about. It should just be there, shouldn't it? But it wasn't. It's nice to see that we've turned into a modern football club. It's made a huge difference. The whole atmosphere has changed at Gillingham over the last 6 months, and I'm all for it. So I'm a Real Madrid fan, but I watch a lot of English football too. So do you live in Spain, or are you elsewhere in the world? I'm Real Madrid. That's a team to support. Quite successful, you could call them. How far away are you? 5 to 7 days. You might be back before the end of the season then. That's good. Are you from Spain? Fantastic. Probably a controversial question. What football do you prefer? Spanish football or English football? I mean, I think I know which way you're going to answer. I don't watch much Spanish football at all. In fact, I don't watch a great deal of top flight English football either. I'm a Gillingham fan first and a football fan second. I will watch a match if I have nothing else to do, but you rarely see me sitting down just watching Premier League games. It's all become about the money, and I'm a fan of the football. Yeah, I mean, exactly. There'll be some bias there. I did think actually, saying that you watch American football too. The username did give me just a hint there that you might enjoy American football, and that's a sport that I've made a few aborted attempts at watching. It doesn't help that I really don't understand many of the rules. There are things that I see happening that I don't understand, because I don't know too many people, or I don't know anyone who who knows the sport to sit and watch it with. It's a tough one for you to get into. But I know they hold a few games over in the UK, over in Wembley usually, I think it is, every now and then. But I think I can only imagine how difficult it would be to get hold of tickets for that, because I think there's quite a burgeoning number of American football fans in this country, which shocked me. And we've conceded an awful goal there. Utterly awful. We just palmed that into the side netting. A bit of a rating. The best club in the world. Oh, that was a controversial statement, it seems. So Chief is our resident channel artist, and Mankman is in fact his new moniker. Big Man United fan. Alright. We're not doing well on the stats here at all, are we? Thankfully, not being too punished for it. But if Gladbach do get a winner, we are in a bit more trouble than I like to be. So, we'll go attacking. I'm wondering if I'd try this for a little while. Let's try this for second part of this first half and see if that makes any difference. Manchester United good club. I think we're the biggest club. I think if you just look at something such as number of European trophies, Real Madrid win that one. But for worldwide appeal, it depends how you're going to measure biggest. It's like the argument about Newcastle, whether Newcastle are a big club. That's a hard one to answer, because if you think about, success, trophies, Not really. Massive fan base, dedicated fan base. Um, got a stadium that any Premier League club, most European clubs would be proud of in St James's Park. But does that make them a big club? I don't know. So to define what the biggest club is going to be quite hard. But when you've got a six-time European champions such as Real Madrid, it's fairly good, a fairly good marker to lay down. Right, well, we've turned that round beautifully. I'm going to keep it like that for now. Two up top seem to be quite disruptive for Nuremberg. And as it stands, we're up into second. Did second place look possible when we were 15th after 7 games? We'd won 1, we'd drawn 2, we'd lost 4, and it looked like we were. Well, it looked like we weren't making the January transfer window as manager of Hertha, but it's been a remarkable turnaround. Who do I think is the greatest in football history? Ooh. Honestly, I think I have to say Real Madrid. Just basing it purely on success. And success at that top level, I can't really see past them. I know, so I'd better just amend that actually. Second to Gillingham, obviously. I mean, no one can argue that there's a bigger club out there than Gillingham. Oh, okay. Oh, it's in the player. Oh, that's a question and a half. Well, controversially, and I'm sure this is one that the two of you will probably agree on, but I won't. I'm going to say Lionel Messi. I don't think I've ever seen a footballer who is as comfortable with the football as him. I mean, there's players such as Maradona who are incredibly close, and Pele's record kind of speaks for itself. Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah, another one who's incredibly close to that as well. But for me, it is Messi. That's a lovely ball over the top, and that is goal number 3. Right, I think we're going to. Do we stick or twist at this point? It's always doing that, yeah. Yeah, if you ever saw my WhatsApp, you wouldn't have a clue what I was going on about half the time. I'm going to go back. I think I'm going to twist. I'm going to go back to the setup we had. We've got our goals. Now we just need to be just a little bit more solid, I think. Just make the one change. Dear man, it's not really played all that well. So, okay, I'm going to put that question back to you then. Who do you think is the greatest? I think I need to get a new phone. It has a mind of its own sometimes. Have you? Which phone have you got at the moment? I think I'm still on the Galaxy S21 Samsung. I've not had an iPhone since I think the iPhone 3. Chief, I reckon I could have answered that one for you. I knew you'd say Ronaldo, but I mean, understandably so. It's a close run thing. I generally find it hard to say who is the better player because they're both different players. They give you different things. Right. Chrysostomou is exhausted, so we'll get him off for Cristiano. Kari for Akane. Cho for Adiemi. And let's do Burkholt for Hildebrand. Got an iPhone. Don't even know which iPhone. It's that many. Yeah. It gets hard to keep track of them. I quite liked it when it was 1, 2, 3. I mean, Galaxy, Samsung are even worse. It's an S. It went from the S10, I think, to the S21. We just skipped 11 through 20. We just went from the S10 to the S21. So it makes no sense when it comes to trying to keep up a timeline of things. Oh, budgets are in, and 70 million is much better than 32 million they were promising me. Wage budget of 1.7, which is, it's a healthy increase. Oh, we can have some fun this summer. RP, you've got to see if there's anyone called Nasi Univar. Let's have a look. There we go. He's playing at Porto, starts the game Ajax. It's little stints at Brighton. Not much, not big on goals in this universe, it seems. He's not made top double figures since playing for Ajax B back in 21-22. Looks like you've got a gifted one there. I do like actually how different player development can be in 2 saves. And my Gabri Vega here, I got for £5 million, I think it was. Yeah, nearly £6 million. PMD Adaptable, who is often dipping in and out of the chat, he got him for like 40 million, and he was a much better player. $18 so far from number 10. Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, the development can be so different between 2 saves. Surprised I haven't broken this phone, it's so annoying. I normally break phones, hence why, and look, this is going to make me look like an old man, but I mean, I'm getting old. Turn 39 tomorrow, in fact. So my last stream is a 38-year-old. But yeah, as an old man, I have a phone which has a flip case because that is what I do. I break phones, so I have to have something that covers the front. Otherwise, I can guarantee, if I had one of those plastic cases that goes on the back, I would have smashed this screen by now. And you just have to look at how battered this phone case is to see just how much treatment it gets. I wouldn't trust me with phones. Never you cannot change. But you cannot change. God knows I can't change. I'll type something that seems more similar to I instead of he. We're probably in the same boat. Yep. Yeah, I think we are. I think we are. Kevin Zeffy. Now you're only on my transfer list because of Rangers, so you can come off. Don't think I purged my my shortlist when I moved over. You, on the other hand, you're on there because I probably want to buy you. Useful though. You can put your credit card and shit. Yeah, so I do have a couple of things tucked in here. I used to put my cards in there, but because I'm still with the times. I've got all of my my phone's on Google, all my cards on Google Pay. So I decided to separate them back out. So I've got my cards back in my wallet, and I've got my phone with me. So yeah, if I don't have my wallet, I've always got something I can pay with. Plus, in this case in particular, they would slide out occasionally, so that made me a bit nervous about potentially losing them. And this bird you cannot change. God knows I can change. Well, big one here, ladies and gentlemen. We need to overturn a 2-goal deficit against Everton. I'd like to think we've got the ability to do that, but I was expecting us to be a bit closer to the Toffees before that first leg, so we just got to go for it. We have just got to go for it. Put them on the back foot from minute 1. Hope to goodness something happens. That's what I might do. So I might stick Diamande up front from the start. You. It's a phone case that I've had this phone for about 5 years now. Phone case. Yeah, I mean, I've had this phone case for 2 or 3 years now, but I mean, I spent like £10 on it. It's not a yes, it's a cheap one. I've not spent a lot of money on it at all, so that's probably why. I am also notoriously bad with dropping phones. Okay, yes, let's go out and get revenge, and I think we're going to change the tactic up before we go into the match. I think I'm going to try this. I'm going to go attacking. It worked against Nuremberg, so why not? Garancourt is another underrated baller. Screamer of a season, 33 goals. I mean, that's 33 goals is always a good return. Can do better, I think. Cho is on 39 now. We're going to have a look at this now. 40. 20 in the league, 15 in Europe, 5 in the cup. The man is a god in Hertha. Tell me, I always get moaned at about that. Yeah. I think, yeah, it was my wife who bought me the first flip case because I was forever destroying phones. Although she has to replace her screen protector just about every other week. Mostly because the kids get hold of it. Our daughter loves to sit and play on her phone, so most damage is the result of a 5-year-old. Well, it looks like we're trying to start on the front foot, which is exactly what I want to see from us. It's a 4-4-2 versus a 4-2-4, so I don't expect a lot of great football. This is, in fact, let's go slightly more direct to start with. Let's see if we can really pin them back. Oh, that's a good start. No, it's not. The refs had a shocker. No, not even close. That's what I'm going to keep telling myself anyway. All right, let's encourage them. Oh, God. That was close. That was close. Yeah, good pressing there from Bradley. Diamandi now. And that's one. That one's onside, isn't it, ref? Yes, it is. That's one. I made the football club badge for that FM save if you want to use it, but that... Oh, you're a star, mate. You really are. I don't know if you turned that around so quickly. I was going to quite happily try and do a bit of photoshopping, but that's brilliant. I haven't come up with a name yet. I think that's something that we look to make over the next few streams. I haven't even got a single idea in mind. I think we do go just a little bit. I mean, well, let's get silly with it. Why not? Why not? I do think we've got to have some, at least a nod to Crocs in specs. And there's goal number 2. We're back in this, ladies and gentlemen. We're level. Okay, we definitely continue with what we're doing now. Oh, yeah. Feel free to email that over and we'll take a look at it. I've got full faith in your work, mate, because it's been absolutely spot on with the rest of them. Oh, we're ahead. Diamande up front has been an absolute star. It was a tactical masterstroke to put him up front alongside Cho. Right. I think we keep going. We need to grind them into the dirt. Right, Hardy can come off for Adeyemi, so we've got even more pace on there. Burkholt for Hildebrand. And Chrysostomy is... Oh, he's got no stamina. We are... Yeah, let's bring on Van den Ham. Well, I went into this game with the tiniest bit of hope. Really was. And after the first half an hour didn't produce a goal, I genuinely thought our chances were done. But this is quite the turnaround. I think Diomande deserves a standing ovation all to himself as he goes off the pitch there. We'll play Locci as the. You're not much for deep lying forward, are you? Let's play you as a poacher. And Cho can play as a deep lying forward, I think. Play a advance forward. Go on, we'll do that. And then one more change. Akani can come off for Kari because he does pop up with something special every now and then. Well, we're into a European final as well. This is quite the turnaround from where we were back in August. Lovely stuff. Diomande, what an impact he had there. Up until then, he'd only scored one in Europe. Why on earth have the tabloids decided to call me the Tinkerer? Too dyslexic. I only thought it said Tinkler. Are you a tactical tweaker then? Different formation for every game. Do you know? I used to be like that. I'd have a home formation, I'd have an away formation. I'd have a set of instructions I would use for matches I expected to win, matches I expected to draw. I'd make changes based on what the opposition were doing, how they lined up, and in the end, I just thought it's a story you're telling with Football Manager. So I don't bother too much with it. I will tweak something when I need to, but I've not got into the level of depth that I used to because I'm not sure how much of a difference it made, and I ended up frustrating myself more than when I kind of do what I do now is I sit back and I almost treat it like a role-playing game as opposed to a simulator. Oh, that's Chief, that's perfect, mate. That's exactly what I was looking for. So we need to come up with a club name. Right, that's absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Depends on league position, really. I just do whatever looks best to me. Yeah. Well, to see, everyone's got to play it differently because we all know we can succeed with different methods. So I'm going to see if I can tomorrow set up some sort of panel on Twitch for a poll, a vote on what our club name should be. So anyone who's got ideas on what you would call a brand new club, create a club. We're starting level 13 of England in West Kent. Chuck them at me. Just chuck them at me. Stick them in chat. Whisper them to me on Twitch if you just come up with something while you're eating your cereal in the morning or on your way to work. I've got my mind is absolutely blank when it comes to team name ideas. Not a clue. Right, before we get into the next game, I'm going to run a 2-minute ad break. So, and I'm also going to jump and grab some water. So, I will see you all back here in a couple of minutes. on my back, and I don't remember putting a countdown timer on my Be Right Back screen, so I'm not sure where that's come from, but, well, I'll have to have a look at that. Chief, do you mind having a word with your lot? I don't want them taking Cho off me. Cho set for move to Man United. Of all the betrayals. And of course he wants to go. Have we got... Okay, well, they pay 70 million. Fine. Fine. Go on, fire them away. Actually, I need to... Let me get my notes open. I'm going to put together some of the best ones, and I think we'll have some sort of poll on what the final one should be. I've got 2 more league games and then 2 cup games. I think what we're going to do tonight is we're going to play those last 2 league games, and then we'll play the 2 cup games, 2 cup finals at the start of the next stream. See if we can get some excitement going for the start of the next one, rather than feeling like we're rushing it through at the end of the night. So we'll play our next 2 league games, and then we'll call it a night, I think. Alligators in Sunglasses Football Club. Alright, that's going on the list. Oh, Ashwin, mate. Cho is more than good. He's more than good. 40 goals in 42 starts, 20 in the league, 15 in Europe, 5 in the cup. The guy's been an absolute revelation. Interestingly, I've not played him in a 2 up top formation, aside from the last game when his strike partner got a hat-trick. Diamande just moved him up front. Hat-trick, job done. Okay, Bayer Leverkusen, let's see what you've got for us. They are 13th in the league, so I'd like to think we should be able to do this one with relative ease. Everyone's getting so tired at this stage of the season. I am going to play a few players who need a bit of a rest because we've actually got a whole week off before the next one. So I'm going to try and still put out a stronger team as we possibly can, while keeping one eye on potential injuries. Let's go Hardy and Adeyemi, shall we? The Tinkerer keeps my opponents guessing. Apparently, absolutely scammed a win against AC Milan. That's it. That's why you do it. That's why you keep them on their toes. It always feels just when that happens for you, because a number of times you'll have played Football Manager and you'll have absolutely dominated a match and lost 3-0, or you've lost last minute when you've been on top for all of it, or it's a derby game against a team that's nowhere near your level and somehow they beat you. So when you manage to scam a win off of a big team, enjoy it. It's a good feeling. It's well deserved. This game's put you through enough that you deserve that win. Let's go Cho and Lochy, I think. Yeah, Ashwin, I've never not trusted you on stuff like this. Gabri Vega in my universe isn't quite as good as your Gabri Vega, but he's done all right. His average rating's above 7 for the season, so, or at least actually it might just be the last 5 games I saw. Either way, he's not been as a disaster for a £5 million player. It's not bad. Okay, let's get that league table up over here, shall we? We want to see what this does. And we're obviously not even thinking about the idea of getting close enough to Bayern Munich to make it look respectable. They're 17 points ahead. It's just insane. But we've qualified for the Champions League. Everything is looking rosy. But I'd quite like to finish second. Just as vindication that we've persisted with the type of football we wanted to play. We did have to make some tweaks, but at least makes me feel like I'm good enough to manage at this level. Started a Gillingham FM save. Gillingham's going all the way to the Champions League. Oh, mate. If you do it, I need screenshots. I need the lot. Like I say, I managed to do it in my offline save, but it's got a big old asterisk next to it because I gave us £50 million. Oh, that's not good. Let's berate them. This isn't the way we want to lose our unbeaten run. I suppose we lost that against Everton, strictly speaking, didn't we? But we're on an unbeaten league run. Right, we've been utterly atrocious in this match so far. There's obviously some tiredness out there, which I suppose is quite understandable. Still, I don't want to capitulate like this, actually. Let's do what worked so well against Everton, shall we? It's going to take a while. It absolutely is. Yeah, big old asterisk on mine for that £50 million that I gave my club. Because it just made... League 2 and League 1 were just walkovers. When you've got a budget that comparatively is as big as that. I think the transfer budget they gave me was like £4 million in League 2, and that's decent money. And my wage budget was very competitive, shall we say. And Diamande scored just by putting him up front again. Maybe that's where I should have had him all along. Maybe that was his position all along. But yeah, League 2 was an absolute walk. League 1, piece cake. We won them both with games to spare, and we've conceded. We demand more. Championship, I think we were still predicted something like top 6 when we first went up from League 1. And we managed to go up in second place. And like, we'd not had any massive investment other than the 50 million I gave us at the start of the season. Who do you think I should sign? So you've probably not got a huge amount of wage budget left over. In League 2, I find Isaac Vassell. Vassell was quality, playing either as a striker or as a I think it was an inside forward on the right, might have been on the left. But he's versatile enough, he can play pretty much all across the front three. He was very good for me. Struggling to remember who else I brought in at that point. Right, we'll put Diamande out on the wing this time. Can stay as an inverted winger. Lotchi is my advanced. You can play as my deep lying, and we'll see what on earth we're able to achieve. But we're not doing brilliantly in this one. It might be the end of our unbeaten league run here. Right, pick up the tempo. Let's get it forward quicker. 4-4-2, so we'll focus in the middle, and we'll press more. We'll go full risky. Just tried to sign a player and I didn't want to sign. How disrespectful! Oh, it's a different challenge being down in League Two, especially with the reputation we've got. It's not huge. But yeah, take down that man's name. If I have the pleasure to see him in real life, I'll make sure he knows about it. I'll make sure he knows he's disrespected us. I don't care that it's only a game. I wish it was doing a Blackburn save, but I got so bored of it. Yeah, it does get that way, doesn't it? Sometimes you'll find a save you think, oh, this would be really interesting, but then either you don't progress quickly or quickly enough, or you progress so quickly that you've done what you achieve or what you set out to achieve within a few seasons. Then suddenly we don't really know what you're playing for. That's why I was thinking about. Yeah, I thought it might be interesting to a press and save, and yes, my 6'6" striker has just headed the ball in. Beautiful stuff. But yeah, so I was looking at the Preston one, and yeah, it's always tempted me, but I know it's going to be like they're an established Championship team, so it won't take too long to get them into the Premier League. And once you're in the Premier League, you'll fairly quickly progress to Europe and eventually into Champions League. And then you've done it, and you're like, okay, well, now what? Which is why I always love starting unemployed, because you never know where your career is going to take you. So your objectives change all the time. Or I will start like I'm doing with the Creator Club, because it's something I've not done before, and that'll be quite interesting, I think. It may be one of those that I get bored of, because either I just go promotion, or I'm stuck in level 10 of English football and not able to progress. So we will see how it goes. But it's always fun to do something a bit new. So what was the inspiration behind taking on Blackburn? Was that try and get them back to the glory days of the 90s kind of thing? You've not played since you last came to me, so that's fine. I'll recall you. No, I'm not resting Cohane. Actually, I suppose I could. I think we've secured second, haven't we? Alright, let's give him a rest before the cup matches. And to remind ourselves, we'll go and put him on a week's worth of training. Yeah, they aren't too far away from Manchester. Yeah, sometimes it just it feels too easy, doesn't it? Never fallen in love with someone, ever fallen in love with someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with. Yeah, that is why I like the lower league ones, because you know you're in for a slog, especially at the start. Yeah. Yeah, Blackburn to Gillingham. It's a fair old whack across the country. That is. And talking of that distance between Gillingham and other clubs, League Two is pretty much League Two North. Most of the clubs seem to be very much clustered in the north of England. We've got some massive away miles to travel, so when it comes to picking away games to do, I'm gonna have to be quite. I'm gonna have to plan it because it's gonna be bleeding expensive to follow us to too many away games. So I'm definitely gonna have to pick and choose them. Carlisle was the kicker. My son desperately wanted to do Carlisle away last August. When I looked at it, like, train tickets would have cost us like £250, and it's a fair old drive. 6 hours, I think. I don't think I had that in me. I really didn't. Could have done the coach, but I don't know how he'd do on a football coach. So I thought, okay, I'll try another one. But I would quite like to do Carlisle just to say I've done it, just to say I've gone to pretty much the furthest club away from Gillingham that I will ever go to. But I can't justify spending that much money to myself. Don't get me wrong. If there was something riding on it, I would. I'd find the money. That would be justified. But yeah, I think it was just the first away game of the season as well, and yeah, well, it was just a hard one to say to the wife. Oh, by the way, love, I want to spend about £400 on a trip away to Carlisle. Go watch one football match. Well, now she's a season ticket holder. She might have a different view on that. Okay, last league game of the season, and this will be the last game of our stream tonight, and then we'll go and find someone else to go and visit. Let's do. Now, come on, let's stick with what's been successful all season. We'll put a Carney in midfield. We are resting Cohane, so let's get him out. Carney in Keeley. Team picks itself these days. So let's give Hildebrand a start because he's not had many, and I don't want to get him upset. Diamande deserves a start after his last few games. He's been in fine form. We'll give Adeyemi another. Let's give him a final start before he toddles off back to Juventus. And Ralph Dorr is back, so don't think he plays up front, does he? That's fine. We've got 3 players on the pitch who can, so we'll go with a lineup that looks like that. Yeah, no worries, Chief. No worries, mate. So we have last game of the stream, last game of the league season as well. We're going to save those cup games for the start of the next stream. And hopefully 2 trophy lifts. That's what we're looking for. But after a season that saw us start and hovering around the relegation zone, we have finished second. Regardless of what happens here, we are finishing second this season, and that's a remarkable achievement. And we are still on an unbeaten run in the league, which I think probably stretches to got to be 20-something games now, hasn't it? I'll need to look at it, but we are almost unbeatable in the league now. next stream the last Hertha Berlin save stream? No. So I want to keep this one going until we win the Champions League. We've got the Conference League this season. I want to win the Champions League. And I absolutely... Well, no, I'm not going to say I absolutely want a top flight title. I think it'd be quite interesting to win the Champions League without ever having won a top flight title. It would be nice to win a top division. We've not done it in Sweden. We finished third. We didn't do it with Rangers in Scotland. We finished second. We're finishing second in Germany as well. But no, it absolutely won't be the last one. We are going for at least one more season with Hertha. And then once we've either been sacked by Hertha or won the Champions League with Hertha or someone else, I'm not against moving again. But it's the Champions League. That's kind of where we're cutting off. Champions League or sacking. That'll signal the end of our of this save, and then we'll move on to a creator club. And like I said, I just need to work out whether it would be better for us to do it through the database or through the creator club career start. It's a lovely ball through for Cho. I don't know if he was onside for that one. Well, it's an audacious little finish. No, offside. It was close. It was close. He stepped back just a little bit too late there. Good save, Marechal. Oh yes, tier it'll be level 13 of the English Football League systems. We will be starting in Division 2 of West Kent. We'll be playing against teams I genuinely did not realise existed. And let's make 2 changes there. And it'll be something different. It's something I've not done before, so I'm quite looking forward to it. Oof, don't know how we've not got a second there. And of course, Chief, club name is still open. The current choice is Alligators in Sunglasses FC, which is certainly solid, but I'm still open to others as well. Or it was quite a good move there from Beljo. A little side step around our defender there. Been the better side, but we haven't been good enough to put this to bed yet. So let's make our last few changes. Let's get Door on for a few minutes actually. I'll swap you two over. Chrysostom can come off for Vega. No, I've not got anyone who can play that. So get Diamande off for Vega and change our right back as well and give Boskurt a final run out of the season. can Adeyemi get us a winner here? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He's scored a fair few goals for us since joining us on loan from Juventus. Considering he was really just brought in to sit on the bench for and come in whenever Cho was too tired to start a match. He's played pretty well. And in true Football Manager style, we can't sign off with a win. We have to be pegged back. Hey ho. Last game of the season, we'll just take it on the chin. Doesn't impact anything. We'll survive. No, we're not good enough. There's a lot of club names that will work, but unless it involves alligators. Alligators or crocs? I think we can take a bit of artistic license with this. So crocs, crocodiles, something crocs. And we could we go with something almost as cheesy as Crocs United? I don't know. So we've got quite a lot of money there for finishing second in the Bundesliga. Now that looks like an awful lot more money than we'd get in England. That prize money's huge. Is that realistic? That's incredible. Well, that goes some way to funding a big summer spending spree. It goes all the way to funding a big summer spending spree. But before we do that, we have got 2 cup finals. We are playing Bayern Munich in the German Cup, and we are playing Lazio. I'll add it to the list then, Chief. And Lazio in the Conference League final as well. So there's plenty to play for next time around. I do hope you'll come back and join us, but we are going to call it a night there, and we're going to find someone else to raid. Let's go and see who is milling around online, shall we? I think we're going to let's go and join Scoops, my fellow Gillingham fan, Scoops FM. I think we raided him at some point last week. Yeah, get your Dolphin Man raid emote ready. We're going in. Well, that's we are ready to raid. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us tonight. We'll be back on Thursday night with the conclusion of this season, hopefully some trophy lifting, and I hope to be able to see you there. Thank you, everyone who is new to following. Who have we had today? I really should name you guys. So we had before the stream actually. Retrospective thank yous to Brooks on a Donut and A.FC. And tonight RP and How About Them Cowboys. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for following. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you back again soon. But let's go and join Scoops now over on his channel. Good night, everyone.